The NFL has uniform rules stricter than a nun in a convent. Despite softening a little through recent years, these strict uniform rules date back to the 50s. The NFL actually employs uniform inspectors, whose sole job is to police the players during games to make sure their attire is up to standard. If it isn't, they can hit them with a fine worth thousands and even stop them from playing the rest of the game. In recent years, players are now allowed to wear custom cleats during pregame, up until warm-ups, but not after. And if they do, well, hell hath no fury like an NFL official seeing anything that's not black, white, or a constitutional team color. These are 7 cleats that are banned in the NFL. YEEZY cleats. When Kanye isn't stirring up controversy on Twitter, he's stirring it up on the field. In 2016, Kanye West gifted YEEZY-branded cleats to players such as Denver Broncos' Von Miller and Houston Texans' DeAndre Hopkins. After tweeting about his stylish new kicks, Von Miller was warned that the NFL probably wasn't fashion-forward enough to be okay with the footwear, and so he made sure to switch to approved cleats before his season opener against the Carolina Panthers. Hopkins, however, wore the black and white speckled cleats during the Houston Texans season opener against the Bears, which is a violation of the league's uniform rules. The over 300 words dedicated to footwear in the NFL rulebook state that all players' shoes have to have a solid base color. A $6,000 fine later, Hopkins admitted he wouldn't wear YEEZY cleats again unless Kanye wanted to pay the fine. We don't think YEEZY took him up on his offer. Joker cleats. Odell Beckham Jr. caused quite the commotion on the field in 2019 when he showed up wearing white cleats with the face of the award-winning title character from Joker painted on. The Fun Police, we mean the uniform inspectors, told Beckham Jr. during halftime that if he didn't change into uniform cleats, he wouldn't be playing in the second half. When asked about his decision to wear the cleats, Beckham Jr.'s reasoning wasn't because he was campaigning for Joker to win Best Picture, but instead because of a late uniform switch made by the Browns that Beckham Jr. and his sponsor Nike were unprepared for. On Wednesday or Thursday, we switched jerseys from the white to the all-brown, so I had no cleats left to wear, none that I could have worn, and the black ones that I was wearing for the rest of the game for some reason was just hurting my feet, so I went to the ones that was most comfortable. I was pretty sure that they changed the rule and cleats wasn't a big deal. It's only a big deal to people that are talking about it. Too bad the Joker had a better season than the Cleveland Browns did that year. Craig Sager cleats. This isn't the only time Odell Beckham Jr. found himself in trouble with the uniform inspectors. In 2016, when he was playing for the New York Giants, Beckham Jr. said he was fined $18,000 for wearing cleats that paid tribute to beloved NBA broadcaster Craig Sager, who had passed away at age 65 from cancer. Sager was known for wearing eccentric outfits, so Beckham Jr. paid tribute with colorful cleats. He commented under a friend's Instagram post saying, "I got fined $18K for Craig Sager cleats that were auctioned off the cleats to the highest bidder and donating the proceeds to his cancer research. $18K like it's nothing to them. No warning to take them off or anything. Nothing." Beckham Jr. donated the money he received from auctioning off the cleats to cancer research, so despite his hefty fine, he managed to turn it around for a good cause. Caution tape cleats. Washington Redskins receiver Deshaun Jackson protested against police brutality by wearing cleats covered in yellow caution tape in 2016. Wanting to continue the national conversation regarding African Americans dying at the hands of police, he wore them during a Week 4 pregame, stating, "Today is the start of my attempts to be a part of a solution and start a dialogue about the senseless killings of both citizens and police. I have chosen to wear these cleats in pregame today to use my platform as a pro athlete to add to this discussion. This isn't meant to be any kind of protest against the good men and women in law enforcement in this country. I just want to express my concern in a peaceful and productive way about issues that are currently impacting our country." Wearing custom cleats during pre-games are approved by the NFL, but the California native opted to keep his police-taped cleats on for the game against the Cleveland Browns, which he knew would be a violation. The wide receiver said the issue is extremely important to him, with the repeated accounts of African Americans that have died not just by police, but also because of gang-related issues in his neighborhood of Crenshaw, Los Angeles. "I felt the need to do it. I felt like I've been silent long enough. It's a bigger problem out here in the communities, in our society, things like the type of situations where people losing their lives, families like that. Little kids going home and not having their parents no more because of crazy things going on. So as far as the response, whatever the response is, that's what it is. But I felt like it was time for me to make a stance and speak up on it. Jackson was fined $6,000 for the protest, but shrugged it off. It's cool, man. My message and what I wanted to get across was more of the case for that, so I wasn't worried about that fine. Green cleats. In 2013, Chicago Bears wide receiver Brandon Marshall wore bright green cleats during a game against the New York Giants to raise awareness during Mental Health Awareness Week. The NFL fined him a hefty $10,500, but instead of just paying it off, he matched it and donated it to charity. Marshall himself suffers from bipolar disorder and tweeted, "Football is my platform, not my purpose. This fine is nothing compared to the conversation started and awareness raised." Black cleats. Chicago Bears tight end Martellus Bennett was fined in 2015 for wearing cleats that were too black. Yes, we're not making this up. Bennett has a history of foot injuries and maintained that he wore the Air Jordan 7 cleats because they were healthy for his feet. "I'm just pissed off at the NFL. They get mad because my cleats are too black, but they're perfect for my feet. And I feel like they're supposed to protect the players, and I have a certain shoe that feels the best with my foot. I've had foot problems over the last 2 years." Despite the comfort of his Air Jordans, Bennett won't make the mistake of wearing them again, especially considering that a second infraction results in a fine double the original amount. Christmas cleats. New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara wanted to sprinkle a little festivity on the field during his 2017 Christmas Eve game against the Atlanta Falcons. Many players wore holiday-themed cleats during the Christmas Eve pregame, but switched to NFL-approved footwear before the game began, knowing full well that the NFL resembles the Grinch on most days, but especially on Christmas. Kamara, with his red cleats looking very similar to red Santa stockings with bells, white trim and everything, kept them on, sans bells. But unfortunately, the Christmas spirit was lost on the NFL and he was fined $6,000. Kamara left the game in good Christmas spirits, hoping that his festive choice would help him gain publicity for a fundraiser that would supply athletic footwear to children in need. With uniform violations now being raised to $7,000 for the first offense, NFL players better keep their cleats in check before those uniform inspectors start writing out any more fines. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the subscribe button for more. We dish out videos like the NFL dishes out fines.